Hello and welcome to You Are Your Own Hero. I am Dr. Tassel Faith Shamebrook, and today we are talking about you are the creator. You are the creator of your life. And we will be going through 4 very powerful practices to really enable us to fully be the conscious creators of our lives. So we are continually creating our own reality every day, every minute of the day. And we are either consciously creating our reality, our lives, or we are unconsciously creating our reality, our lives. So just to give an example of this, for instance, every thought is a prayer. So if we are having a negative, disempowering, constrictive thought, also known as a fear or a worry, then we are sending that vibration, that energy out into the universe. And it will eventually be matched, particularly if this is an ongoing thought that we are sending out. On the other hand, if we are sending out a positive, empowering, expansive thought, then this we are also sending out to the universe, and this will also eventually be matched. So to be a conscious creator in our lives, we want to be very mindful and clear about the energy that we are sending out into the universe. And we can remember, for instance, that beliefs are simply thoughts that we keep thinking. So the 4 really powerful practices that we're going to go through right now are cultivating our thoughts and beliefs, setting our energy, living in our own world, and sending out a clear vibration to the universe. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about cultivating our thoughts and beliefs. I like to think of ourselves as being the gardeners of our minds. So we want to weed out or release any thoughts that are not serving us, and we want to cultivate and grow thoughts that are serving us, that are supporting our dreams for our lives. So during the day, we can just notice, as the gardener of our minds, notice what thoughts are growing, what thoughts are coming up to the surface in the soil of our minds. And we can metaphorically take out a little garden spade and weed out the thoughts that are not serving us and plant with metaphorical seeds the thoughts that are serving us. And so practically, how do we do this? And there's a few methods I'm going to offer here and just see what works well for you. So let's say you're in your day and a thought comes up that you can tell is not serving you. So one really easy practice is just to say internally, or you can even say this out loud, no, that's not for me. That thought is not for me. For some people, this works really well. Another practice to weed out thoughts that are not working for you is to visualize them literally leaving your energetic body. You might see this thought leaving your body as water or smoke or steam coming off your body as this thought is released back to the universe. My favorite practice for this is, if I have a limiting thought come up, is to immediately just bring in a positive thought, to just basically replace it immediately. Kind of like pulling out a weed that's not doing well and just putting in a beautiful flower instead. So let's give an example of this. For instance, I have a lot of projects that I'm currently working on. And sometimes I will have a thought arise of, I can't do this, like the next step in the project. I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. I'm scared to do this. those thoughts arise a lot for me in these new projects that I'm doing. So I'm mindful of the thoughts that are coming up, that are growing in my mind. And so with that type of thought, I will immediately just sort of pluck it out and replace it with a thought such as, I can do this. I will figure this out. I got this. And this practice seems kind of simple and obvious in a way, but it's really powerful because when we replace a negative thought with a positive thought, first of all, this goes into our subconscious. Secondly, it also can create new neural pathways in our conscious mind. And thirdly, we are then sending that thought, that energy out into the universe, which will be eventually matched. And let me give you just one more example. If you have a thought, for instance, around your finances, you might have a negative thought. Oh, what if I don't have enough money to cover my expenses? So again, we can take out our little garden spade, we can weed out that thought and replace it with a really beautiful, empowering thought, such as, I'm infinitely abundant. The universe always provides for me in unexpected and expected ways. And when we run these more positive, empowering, expansive thoughts through our bodies, it feels really good, doesn't it? Just me saying those really beautiful, positive statements just now, filming this video, I could feel it in my body. It felt really great. And we know when it feels great that we are in alignment. Okay, so throughout the day, we just want to catch ourselves, weed out the thoughts that are not serving us in our minds, and plant beautiful new thoughts that are serving us. And the longer we think these thoughts, they then become beliefs, and those neural pathways get really grooved in and strong and powerful in our conscious minds. And another thing I do all the time is I write down these positive thoughts, these positive affirmations, often just on a sticky note, and I'll keep the sticky note with me throughout the day if I'm working on a particular thought or affirmation. And sometimes I refer to this as sticky note therapy. I do sticky note therapy every day. Every day I have a sticky note that I'm keeping with me to keep a really positive thought and affirmation with me. And another practice, along with this whole idea, is on any aspect of your life that you're really working to bring through shifts and transformation, you can write down 3 positive thoughts or affirmations every morning and repeat these thoughts and affirmations throughout your day. So I'm actually doing this right now around financial abundance. So, and I actually just started this particular practice this morning. I'm going to do this for at least 28 days. That's usually about the amount of time to change and really shift the neural pathways in your conscious mind. And I'll share with you the 3 affirmations that I wrote down this morning. The first one is, I am abundant. I am great at allowing in everything that I want. The second one is, my ultimate prosperity is now. And the third one is, it is safe to be seen and to be wealthy. And these feel so good in my body. So I know they're really in alignment for me. And so during the day, if I have any fears, worries, negative thoughts around money, I just shift back into those really positive, empowering thoughts and affirmations, which go into my subconscious, which groove the neural pathways in my mind, and which send that energy out into the universe. So many benefits, right? Okay. So cultivate our thoughts and beliefs. The second powerful practice here about really being the conscious creator in your life is to set our energy. This is so powerful and so helpful. And you can do this every day in the very beginning of your day, in the morning. So when we wake up in the morning, we basically have a purified, energetic body. We have a clean slate. And what can often happen is if we're not being conscious, if we're not being mindful, we may wake up and our thinking mind may possibly go into fear or worry. The thinking mind may just start thinking about things that maybe are a bit challenging, that are not ideal, that could feel stressful, and just gets into a whole tizzy. Just the thinking mind is just off and running at this point with fears and worries as soon as you wake up. So this is being, I would say, reactive. This is focusing on things maybe that are difficult, that are not working, and this is not serving us. Instead, we can be proactive and we can initiate in ourselves the energy that we choose to hold for the day, and then watch what comes in as a match to the energy that you are setting. So, for instance, instead of like reaching for your phone or starting to think about the whole day, just take a few moments and decide, what energy am I cultivating, am I bringing up in myself today, right now, to set my energy? You can set your energy for abundance. You can set your energy for peace. You can set your energy for joy. One of my favorite energies to set is celebration energy, that I'm in a state of celebration throughout the day. My life is to be celebrated. And then I watch as the external brings in situations and realities that match that energy of celebration. And the easiest way I have found to set the energy for the day is to tune into maybe situations in the past where you felt these feelings really naturally. So if you had a day where you were really celebrating, or you had a day where you were really joyful, bring yourself back to that day and just pick up that energy and bring it into your current feeling state right now. And what I find is sometimes by the middle of the day or the end of the day, I might have fallen out of the energy that I originally set. So sometimes if I think of it, I put little alarms on my phone in the afternoon or the nighttime, and the alarm goes off and I just remember, oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm set in my, for instance, celebration energy. Okay, the third practice here about really being the creator of your life, being the conscious creator of your life, is living in our own world. Okay, I love this one. So do you remember when you were a child and you may have had lots of moments where you were really living in your own world? You were in the flow, somewhat lost in the playing that you were doing or the dreaming that you were doing, and you were really in your own energy and not really paying attention to the external world. So to be the conscious creator of your life now, we want to do that again as adults. We want to be in our own world. That means we are choosing not to focus on any circumstances in our current reality that are not ideal. Now, I don't mean we ignore them, not at all. We are present to them, but we do not focus on them. We focus on our dreams for our life. We focus on our vision. We focus on what we are bringing through for our lives. And also remembering that all circumstances in your life are temporary. All circumstances are only what has been manifested so far. Everything is in a state of transformation always. So this is just a really, really empowering and fun way to live. It's basically giving ourselves permission to not focus on what is not perfect or is not going well in our lives, and to focus on what is going well and what we are further bringing into our lives as our dreams. And I'll just give an example of this. So one example I can give is I'm currently in a partnership and I live in Tennessee and my partner lives in Canada. So at times we are geographically separated. And my thinking mind, oh brother, sometimes my thinking mind really wants to focus on the distance and the difficulties of the distance and being sad. And sometimes I will fall into that, but I try to pull myself out of that by living in my own world. I strive to not focus on that temporary external reality, but I focus on my vision that I hold that we will be able to live in the same town. And also by having gratitude for everything that is going really well in our relationship, by focusing on my vision and all that is really good. So I live in my own world and I'm not focusing on the external circumstances that are not ideal. And in this way, I'm not energizing the difficulties. I'm not further sending that energy out into the universe. I'm energizing my vision and all that I'm grateful for, and I'm sending that energy out into the universe, which is a really big difference. Okay, and so lastly, the last practice here to be the conscious creator of your life is sending out a very clear vibration to the universe. And the three practices we've talked about so far, cultivating our thoughts and beliefs, setting our energy, and living in our own world, these practices together help us to send out the clearest signal to the universe, which will be met by what eventually comes into our reality. So what can happen is we may have a beautiful goal, a beautiful desire, but if our thoughts and beliefs are not fully supporting this goal or desire, or we are not consciously setting our energy and we're being reactive, or we are paying too much attention to what isn't going right in our world, then you can see that you may be sending out a bit of a mixed, chaotic, unclear vibration to the universe. So if we think of ourselves as radio towers, a radio tower usually tries to send out the clearest signal possible, right? So we want to do the same thing. So we want to align all of our energy as clearly as possible around what we are looking to consciously create and manifest in our lives. We want very clear, supportive, positive thoughts and beliefs. We want to set our energy to be empowering. And we want to focus on our vision and what is going well in our lives and living in our own world in that way. And as we do this, the energy, the vibration, the signal we send out to the universe becomes crystal clear, and it is universal law that energy matches itself. So the external reality that you're desiring will come in as a match to this beautiful, clear signal that you are sending out. And this is how we masterfully become the conscious creators of our lives. As within, so without. So thank you so much for joining me on this video. If you enjoyed the video, if you can give it a like or subscribe to the channel, that really helps the work. And we also have an amazing Patreon community, and there's more information about that in the description. So much love to you.